You want to know one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck, miserable, or constantly misunderstood. They share too much with the wrong people, and wise people never do that. Let me show you the 3 things wise people will never, ever share. And once you understand why, it might just change the way you protect your energy, your peace, and your future. So here's the truth. We live in a world where oversharing is the norm. Post it. Tweet it. Tell everyone about your plans, your relationships, your next big move. But what if I told you, the wisest people, the ones who grow quietly, succeed silently, and live peacefully, all have something in common. They know there are things you should never speak about out loud. In this video, we're going deep into the 3 things wise people keep to themselves. Not because they're secretive, but because they understand something most people don't. Keep watching. The third one will explain why some people keep getting hurt over and over again. Let's start with the first one. 1. Your next move. Wise people do not broadcast their plans. Period. Why? Because announcing what you're going to do gives your brain a false sense of completion. There's actually a psychological term for this. It's called social reality. When you talk about your goals out loud, your mind thinks you've already achieved something, so your motivation drops. And there's more. People judge your plans through the lens of their own limitations. Say you tell someone, "I'm going to start a business." Watch what happens. Suddenly, you're flooded with, "That's risky. Do you even know how to do that? Are you sure now's the right time?" And just like that, their fear becomes your doubt. There's an old saying, don't let your food get cold while you're watching someone else's plate. But the wise version of that, don't let your dream die while explaining it to someone who doesn't even dream. Some people will try to talk you out of your plans simply because they don't believe they could do it themselves. So instead of sharing your next move, make the move. Let the results do the talking. Silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. 2. Your personal life. This one's big. Especially today, when everyone's eager to share every detail of their relationships, family drama, or private struggles like it's content. But wise people, they protect their peace like a lion guards its cubs. They know that the more people know about your personal life, the more they feel entitled to judge it, comment on it, or worse, use it against you. Ever told someone something personal, and then weeks later it somehow became public gossip? Yeah, that's the lesson. Not everyone who's listening has good intentions. Now this doesn't mean you shouldn't open up or be vulnerable. But there's a difference between being real and being reckless. Being vulnerable with the right people builds connection. Being vulnerable with the wrong people builds a mess. Wise people talk to therapists, mentors, or people they trust, not just anyone with ears. They know that some people pretend to care just to collect information. And sometimes, the person who smiles while you speak will use your story as entertainment later. So here's the rule. Share your personal life with those who have earned the right to hear it. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. 3. Your good deeds. Here's where most people get it wrong, especially on social media. They help someone, and suddenly there's a video of it. They donate something, and the whole world knows about it. But wise people, they help quietly. They give without needing applause. They do good, and they don't need the credit. There's a kind of power in doing something kind, and telling no one. Because if you're doing it to be seen, is it really about the other person, or is it about you? In many spiritual traditions, from Islam to Christianity to Buddhism, the greatest form of giving is the one done in silence. The kind that only you and the receiver know about. The kind that isn't posted. The kind that isn't praised. The kind that's sacred. There's a peace that comes from knowing your heart is clean, even if nobody claps for you. Wise people don't need validation for doing the right thing. They don't need a round of applause. Their reward is inner peace. Their validation is in the impact. And here's the thing, the more quietly you do good, the more powerful your goodness becomes. Now let's be real. Most of us have shared things we shouldn't have. We've overshared our dreams to people who weren't ready to support them. We've told personal stories to people who couldn't handle our truth. We've talked about our kindness like it was an ad campaign. Why? Because we all want to be seen. We want connection, recognition, and sometimes, just someone to say, "Hey, I see you. You're doing great." But here's the problem. When you give everyone access to everything, you end up with less of yourself. It's like this. Imagine your piece is a house. And every time you tell someone too much, you give them a key. Before you know it, people are walking in uninvited, rearranging furniture, judging the layout. Wise people, they know better. They lock the doors. They choose who gets access. They know that peace is built through boundaries. And here's the real shift. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't owe anyone your next move, your heartbreak, or your good deeds. You owe yourself peace. That's it. When you stop oversharing, a few things happen. Your energy becomes sacred. People respect your mystery. And most importantly, you start trusting yourself more. That's what wise people understand. Now, the challenge. It's learning to be okay with silence. To not announce every win. To not explain every loss. To not share every detail. In a world that screams, "Tell us everything," it takes real strength to say, "No." But that's where your power begins. Because here's the truth. The loudest people usually have the least peace. The wisest ones. They're quiet, because they're content. They're not performing. They're not proving. They're just living. And maybe, that's the goal. So if you've been wondering why you feel drained, why people keep disappointing you, or why your peace feels shaky, maybe it's not about what's happening to you. Maybe it's about what you keep giving away. Your plans. Your privacy. Your purpose. It's time to take that back. Because when you stop sharing everything with everyone, you don't become cold. You become clear. And from that clarity, comes growth, peace, and the kind of life that doesn't need explaining. Keep your next move private. Keep your personal life protected. Keep your good deeds humble. That's the blueprint wise people live by. And maybe it's time we start doing the same.